welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tales podcast. I am your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we're live on a Monday, ready to do some podcasting on a Monday night. Find us everywhere you get podcasts. Leave us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate that, and we mean that. If you're thinking about it, do it. You can contact us through all the stuff in the show notes. The official weapon of the show, eel,
Bone chair,
and the unofficial sport,
bullet ball,
and bullet ball extreme. All right, lots of stuff to talk about. We can do just about anything. Karen, do you have any banter?
Nope, I same banter you have with the air.
Okay, sure. Why not?
System of it, you're very unusual, young man. Watch me go.
All right. Yeah, I guess the banter for me, crispy salmon skin
Mm-hmm.
is just fish bacon.
Oh, it's absolutely delicious. You cooked some fish last week, and that skin was crispy, and that shit was fucking flames.
Yeah. It just feels like feels like fish bacon.
It was so
It's
good
delicious.
and crunchy, and it went right along with the tenderness of the meat. Oh,
And I only really like it crunchy. Like I don't like the salmon skin if it's not crunchy. So it's like it really is like bacon, and I loved it. The other thing is the AC broke.
Mhm.
Now our AC has always been a little temperamental, by which I mean for some reason with this AC, and it's been like this for years, and it's driving up our fucking power bill. But every time they come look at it, they can't fix it. I don't know why.
Mhm.
But what happens is, even when it reaches the desired temperature, a lot of times the fan part of the AC just keeps blowing. And I have to like manually hit the circuit breaker, and then it will stop and reset. And then it'll because it's supposed to cycle on and off. Like, oh, it's 69 degrees and you set it to 68. Okay, here comes some cold air. But then it gets to 68 and the cold air stopped blowing, but the fan is just on. And so that's been a problem. But I mean, I guess it makes sense, but the fan part stopped working. And as y'all can imagine, it's 90 degrees every day now.
Yeah, we in the South.
And it broke on like a Saturday. Like it had been kind of acting on and off like weird for the week. And some said, let me just ask the people to fix it, even though it's not really broke. But in my mind, I already know it's going to be a hassle because they're going to show up. It's not going to be broke. They're going to be like, what's really wrong with it? I'm going to tell them and they'll be like, well, as long as it's working, so it's like, I'll wait till it's broke. It broke on a Saturday. And let me just say, man, I really hope I'm wrong about, I hope I'm right about all this stuff about, religion. Because if hell is real, I don't know how I'm going to make it. Because 78 degrees had me up in here ready to betray the race.
I don't want it. I dealt with that as a kid, but people with no AC, it literally is hot on the inside.
It feels like
inside and outside.
It feels like I'm back in New York when I didn't have the central AC.
Yeah.
And they had the furnace, and I couldn't turn the furnace off or down.
Yeah.
And
that shit don't
it would
make
just be
sense.
radiating heat throughout the apartment. And I would just be sitting there, or actually, I think it was a radiator. It would radiate heat throughout the apartment, and I would have to open up windows, and it would be like 12 degrees outside, and I got 4 windows open. Like, Lord Jesus, help me, So
right, because it's miserable.
I don't like it hot. I'll pay the extra power bill if I have to. I hate that.
Yes, and Duke Power be sending you the thing when they know you got a nest. They be like, can we change it? No, bitch, you can't change shit because you're gonna have it fucking blazing in here. No.
Yeah, so it was just kind of a sucky ass day, and then they didn't fix it yesterday because they probably didn't work on Sundays, and then so they come to fix it today, They think it's like a switch. I think hopefully it's a switch. I Googled what could it be. They say it's a switch. He comes, he has to leave. He leaves for a couple hours, comes back with the new part that he had to go buy from the store, puts it in. It works for like 5 minutes. Now, I've been telling him, the thing is, if I reset the circuit breaker and everything, the fan will come on for like 5 minutes and it just turns off and makes a very loud humming, rattling sound.
Now, what the hell is that humming?
And then eventually it turns off and it never gets cold.
Right.
Like, at no point does cold air come out. And so it worked for like 5 minutes. He was like, all right, well, I'm leaving. When I tell you 2 minutes after he left, the shit turned off again.
It made a big noise and was down for the count.
I just put in another fucking work order like, hey, man. So they brought us a portable air conditioner. We're going to see what that do. He said it should be cool enough to cool the whole apartment unit out, but we'll see. I mean, anything's better than hot as hell. So I'll take it, but man, the hot just saps all the energy out of me.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where Roger is sensitive to heat. I'm less sensitive. Y'all know me. If for those of you that watch the show live, I'm always wrapped up in somebody's blanket, thuggy, something. And I was like, I am the type of person. It takes a lot for me to sweat. And last night I was actually sweating. I was like, oh, it is hot in this bitch. For me to now, Roger, because another thing, for me to sweat is warm.
At least for that YouTube commenter that wanted you to take off the thuggy, at least he finally got his wish. He better leave a fucking like on this video.
Yes, they did. They got their wish. No thuggies. That shit is too hot for them.
But yeah, so it was so hot. It's not like if this would have happened when it was 80 degrees outside and inside it was still like 70 or something, it's like, okay.
It's been a fine, right?
But it's basically 80 inside. Like, I'll be thinking of shit to do outside the house. I'm like, what can I do to get in my car and turn up the AC? I need to go to the store for an egg.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck.
Let's go to the car wash.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Just anything to not feel this heat. I wouldn't have made it as a slave. I would have been terrible. I wouldn't have made it and just, I wouldn't have made it as a person that owned slaves in the 1800s and 1900s. I would have been in the AC. I mean, inside the mansion, the plantation. Like, it's too hot in here. You know, I'm gonna need you to come fan me with one of them leaves or some shit. It's too. I don't know how people do it, but shout out to those that can. But
right,
I was very uncomfortable and I don't appreciate it. So
yes, yeah, I'm bougie. I believe in central air and shit like that.
I don't think that's bougie at all. I think that's like a normal thing that people want. You know, it's like saying I'm bougie. I like to drive places rather than walk. That's normally what most people do.
But some parts of the country ain't got it. And I'm like, it don't make sense.
They don't make it not bougie though. They don't make it bougie. I'm just saying. But yeah, so that's I think that's all my banter. I don't have anything else that I remember writing down. So all right, that was the banter for today. Let's get into some other news.
P. Diddy be wanting the body, and you gotta tell him no.
It's like
all right, today's moment of P. Diddy. Apparently, his kids honored him for Father's Day among his legal battles. Happy Father's Day, Pops. Strong arm flexing emoji, blue heart, said Justin Combs, with a throwback picture of him and the Bad Boys Records founder. Happy Father's Day to the best dad in the world. We love you so much. Heart emoji, 17-year-old twins Delilah and Jesse Combs wrote in a joint post shared via their Instagram stories.
They are his children. What did people expect them to say? Fuck you, daddy?
Chance Combs, 18, posted a black and white photo of her lying on his Sean's chest. Happy Father's Day, she wrote. I love you endlessly. He was also honored by his son, Christian Combs, 26, who shared a throwback picture of them together and said, happy Father's Day to the greatest. Love you, Pops. Heart emoji, earth emoji. So there you go, guys.
Yeah, I hate to be like, I hate to be bothered. You know, I'm not bothered by this. It's a lot of people that love a lot of niggas that do fucked up shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of daddies out here that's doing terrible shit, and their kids still love them. It don't mean they ain't terrible people. It don't mean they ain't do that shit. But they are his children.
Yeah, I like that. That's where you went with it. I wasn't even thinking about people going, his kid shouldn't celebrate his Father's Day. I just thought it was interesting, you know, like that's what's going on in Diddy world is, you know, it's still Father's Day for all the fathers, regardless.
Right. And the reason why I went there is because, you know, because so many people feel such a way about him online. You know, online is hyper overactive and hyper negative, where they feel like if I don't fuck with you, your family members should leave you alone because I don't fuck with you. You're not in this family, dog.
Yeah, Donald Trump also put a Father's Day post out there.
I say, did he do it to himself? The Happy Father's Day to me?
As did Joe Biden. Joe Biden said, Happy Father's Day to all the dads, pops, and father figures who have shown us guidance, encouragement, and unconditional love. Trump's message was in all caps.
So he yelling it?
Happy Father's Day to all, including the radical left degenerates that are rapidly bringing the United States of America into third world status.
Happy Father's Day to all you DIs out there.
With their many attempts at trying to influence our sacred court system and to break into their very sick and dangerous will, we need strength and loyalty to our country and this wonderful Constitution. Everything will be on full display come November 5th, 2024, the most important day in the history of our country. Make America great again. So,
damn, that's too much. Just say Happy Father's Day and keep it trucking, nigga.
It's just different for it. I don't know. It feels like they highlight a stark difference in the approach of both of these men who are presidential candidates.
Right.
To me, some people may feel like it's not that big a deal, but I don't know. Seems like a big deal.
Yes, it does.
Let's see what else is happening. Foxy Brown has reignited her long-standing feud with Lil Kim.
Lord.
Yeah. The year of the beef continues.
I guess so.
And this is some aged beef. Yeah, so Foxy Brown
this came out of the blue. Who asked for this?
On Friday, she took to Instagram to wish Mr. Papers a happy birthday. In the post, she shared a picture of Mr. Papers and wrote, "Happy birthday, block spinner, 20 years later. Ha." Shortly after, the birthday boy responded to the message, "Daddy love you, mama." What makes this a messy situation is that Lil Kim and Mr. Papers share a child together called Royal Reign. Despite being separated, Lil Kim and Mr. Papers continue to co-parent their daughter without tension, something Foxy is well aware of. To add more fuel to the fire, Foxy and Mr. Papers had intimate moments together back in the day. In fact, in 2020, Mr. Papers revealed that he was previously involved with Foxy when he was only 17, which was years before he got with Lil Kim. What's crazy, before Kim, I used to fuck with Foxy Brown and all that, he said during the live stream with Gilly the Kid. Additionally, this isn't the first time Foxy and Mr. Papers have exchanged friendly words on social media. 2 years ago, Mr. Papers sent a happy birthday message to Foxy's daughter, Cyane, or Cyane maybe. Despite her rift with Lil Kim, it is safe to say things are all good in her relationship with Mr. Papers. However, there's still lingering friction between Foxy and Lil Kim. Last year, Lil Kim claimed her autobiography would sell more copies than the Bible. Foxy couldn't resist trolling the self-proclaimed Queen Bee by posting the Bible on her Instagram story with a laughing emoji. Damn. Wow. I did not know this was still happening. I guess they really Foxy keeping that same energy.
I guess so.
You guess so. Okay. I mean, this is some pretty old mess.
Child, yeah, I don't know who Mr. Papers is. And it's one of them things where half the kids now looking at these old folks like, who?
And he replied, "Daddy love you, mama." Even though that they don't have any kids together, and Lil Kim does have a kid with him. Hopefully they too old to be shooting and all that stuff, and it's just some back and forth social media. I haven't seen any response from Lil Kim.
Right, and if I was her, I wouldn't respond. I don't have nothing to do with that. Okay, I'm not fucking him. He not my man. Yes, we had a kid together. We could work through that, but what y'all doing ain't got shit to do with me.
Right. So I don't know if Mr. Papers is a good or bad father figure, person. There's a lot going on over there with him. Okay. Meanwhile, keeping it hip hop.
Okay.
Nicki Minaj tweeted, "Yes, single." So people think she may be
Filed for divorce.
that's what they're hoping, that she's getting away from, a lot of people. And this is how the Stan Wars are funny, because during the Stan Wars, people felt like they needed to defend this dude being with her because it was them versus Cardi B and Megan and all this shit. But the second she said, "I'm about to break up," it was like, "Oh, thank God, Jesus. Woo. Oh, we love you, Nicki. Thank God. Just get away from him." I'm like, we don't know what any of this shit really means.
I won't believe it till I see it.
Yeah.
And even then, I still won't believe it because people get married, divorced, married all the time.
And she did post a video later, and people were concerned about her tone in the video.
And then one day, they're yelling, "Push."
Oh, she not all there.
You're in pain. Then one day, he comes out, a beautiful baby boy. To God be the glory. Congratulations to every mama out there. You're doing a great job. In case no one's told you that, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, she don't look like she's out there. Looks like she's under the influence of something. Drugs, alcohol, like something. It's like something. Not trying to find something else is happening. Mental issues, like I don't know what it is, but it doesn't sound like she's in her right mind. Yeah, it doesn't even look like she's in her right mind.
I know people talk about like, oh, they think she's on drugs and all this stuff. I have no idea, but I will say this. Looking at the responses from her like stans and the people on Twitter that that are fans of hers and try to turn these people's lives completely into content. Protect Onika Tanya Mirage at all costs, please.
Yeah.
Hashtag we love you, Nicki.
It sounds like she's dealing with something.
You guys, thank you for the support all of the years. And I mean, I ride or die. Absolutely. You guys are fucking incredible. And I would have never thought in a billion fucking years that I would have people like you guys coming to see me. This is fucking surreal. You know, I love you so much, right? Yeah.
So, like, I guess those are some of her fans or whatnot that met up with her. All we should be doing today is showing Nicki love and positivity. If you're doing anything other than that, I'm going to drag you. At Nicki Minaj, wherever you're going through, the barbs are here for you. We've seen you through the good and the bad times and keep holding you down. You will win again and again. She deserves the whole world. All I want is her to be happy. Dear God, protect Onika from all the evil, like a prayer. Like, I'm so worried for her. I can't even sleep. Like, I don't know. I feel like the parasocial relationships, I know she kind of feeds into it, and these people go and harass people that
they do.
They feel is in her best interest to fuck with the people for her and stuff. And I have no idea how old these people are and what their value systems is. But I always worry about stuff like this because when it seems like somebody might really be going through something real,
yes,
and they've dealing with something, actual people around them that care about them and friends. It feels like the only thing the internet truly can give people is this weird parasocial content.
Right.
It's the send people pictures of puppies because something sad happened to them. And it's like,
you ain't trying to resolve whatever's happening.
Well, it's just that whatever needs to be resolved is probably bigger than the puppies.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that impulse. So whatever's happening with her, that would scare the shit out of me if I was her friend. I would want to go to the house or call her something.
Child and something. I really do hope, like, for real, that she gets the help that she needs. And somebody on the outside looking in, just the way she interacts and just watching her over the years, like, oh, whatever's going on is bigger than this music. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's other things that are going on in your life.
Yeah, and I just think there's only so much surface level shit that can really like help the person.
Right.
Like a tweet is a very surface level thing from a stranger. And these same strangers, I'm sure if you aggregate enough of the tweets, you got motherfuckers in there like Team Cardi, bitch, kill yourself and shit. So it's like whatever, if they're reading any of that stuff, it's probably bad and garbage for the most part because it's not from real people that care about you.
Right.
And I feel this way about all the people that do stuff like this when it's very like a very social media type thing is cry for help. I'm like, man, it's like crying in the wilderness. You don't know if a wolf gonna show up or not.
No, you don't.
Let's see. Bernie Mac show actress Camille Winbush opens up about her decision to create an OnlyFans account 20 years later. Those checks are not sustainable for a living. Talking
about the residuals.
Residuals from Bernie Mac show. She played Vanessa Tompkins in the Bernie Mac show. She's opened up about why she chose to create an OnlyFans account. It's interesting because like the OnlyFans thing is interesting because all OnlyFans ain't the same.
No, they're not. Some OnlyFans ain't even about sex.
Yeah, now it's interesting too because like this is a actress that people were introduced to as a child, but she's a grown ass woman now.
Right.
So if she wants to do OnlyFans, she can do whatever she wants to do.
Right.
But yes, this is like a kind of an interesting thing because like, sex workers work. If you want to make money, you make money. But some people's stuff is just like lingerie and like maybe pictures you could put on the Instagram, but you're just selling them now.
Right.
So I don't really know what but I think when people hear OnlyFans, they go to like hardcore pornography.
Yes, and that's not always true.
Yeah, so I don't know that that's what's happening. A lot of these Instagram and starlet type women have done the OnlyFans thing. People sign up and then you find out it's just like, oh, here's me in a
shit
bikini.
They could have put on, like I said, since they could have put on Instagram.
Right.
How has OnlyFans kind of like played in terms of like career wise? Has it like helped sustain you? That was a large part of the energy that I saw people throwing at you, like, oh, you don't need the money, or did she go broke? How do you respond to that criticism?
Okay. Well, people that are outside of the acting world have no place to speak on it. When people are saying, oh, those Bernie Mac checks must have dried up, or like from a job 20 years ago when I was a 12-year-old. Yeah, like duh.
Because we think the residuals are still coming through though.
I mean, they do, but
it's not.
Listen, if I was on Friends making $1 million an episode, yes, those residual checks would still be very nice. But as time goes on, they get smaller and smaller every year.
Right.
You're not making the same amount that you were when the show was current per episode.
Right.
So as someone who was just a kid, don't get me wrong, still making good money. Mm-hmm. But 20 years later, those checks are not sustainable.
You know what I keep thinking is for the it's so interesting how you have to promote your OnlyFans out of like a desperation because morally we were going to judge you. And I think people feel that the judgment is going to come. So then they have to basically go out and like cry poor. Not that they're not poor or broke or whatever, but it's like very few people promote their OnlyFans. Like, I just like to post naked pictures and get money, and I'm just doing it for that. People will give me money. It's the easiest thing. I'll basically just, here's the same thing on Instagram, but you can see my nipple. Give me some money. But no one, it's like a certain type of respectability is around OnlyFans to where, and around that type of work to where you have to be like, guys, I'm eating ramen noodles every day. Please pay me to look at my titties, which is kind of like it still kind of stigmatizes that. Not that if that's your truth, that's your truth. But it's just interesting that the rollout for so many OnlyFans are either I'm a teacher and I got busted with OnlyFans.
Yeah. Come check my shit out. Yes.
Or I'm a celebrity and the options dried up and I had to do OnlyFans. And all that stuff. There's a woman from Boy Meets World that does like porn. I think her name's like Madeline Ward or something. And like her story was, I wasn't getting them checks anymore. I had to do something. I'm like, you had to fuck 6 black dudes. I think you might have wanted to do some of that. Like we have to make it a desperation thing because
because a lot of times it's judgment and condemnation on that person. But people, if it's something that people want to consume, so be it. But people like to be judgmental. Even the people that are on OnlyFans are still judgmental of the people that perform on the site that they go to look at shit.
Yeah, so it's interesting because basically the implication here is if she was still a working actress or if she had bigger residuals, we would be like, you better not do OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't do it then, but if you come out and say like, hey guys, I'm struggling. All right, well, yeah, take your clothes off. It's just an interesting thing. Maybe that's the way it always has been.
Mm-hmm.
The Bling Bishop got sentenced to 9 years in prison for multiple scams.
Yeah, he was out here scamming them up.
Yeah. I wonder if he gonna be cooperating and snitching because maybe Mayor Officer Mayor Eric Adams might want to watch his back.
Child, that mayor trying to take the key from Diddy, child, he better go somewhere and lock himself somewhere because, child, they gonna come after him.
Yeah, he was flossing so hard.
Yes, instead of running the city, you want to be in a goddamn club.
I'm not talking about the mayor. I'm talking about Bling Bishop.
Oh,
Bling Bishop was flossing so hard.
Yeah, he was.
Cars, clothes, videos, like jewelry.
And you scamming people.
None of it feels religious to me. None of it feels like a man of God to me. It just feels like a scammer that figured out if you say something about God, people will give you their money.
Yes, they will.
And then he got, he ended up ripping some people off and all this shit. So, yeah, it just feels interesting to see, this dude get his comeuppance, but it also felt like we all knew this was going to happen. The first day I saw this dude, I was like, he going to jail. I don't know how and when, but nobody can move like this and not go to jail.
Right, and too many stories was coming out.
All right, last one of these stories, and we move on to another segment. Marjorie Taylor Greene begs voters to elect horrible, shitty Republicans. She's talking about Republicans that she hates, but she needs people to vote for those horrible, shitty Republicans so the GOP can win the presidency and control of the House. She didn't mention that Republicans already control the House and their leadership has resulted in chaos and failure to achieve her political aims.
Right.
If you care about President Trump getting to the White House, you have to get all your friends and family, everyone you know, to get out and vote for him. But you may also have to swallow down voting for that rhino, Republican in name only, horrible, shitty Republican you hate, just so we can control the House, she said while speaking to former Trump advisor Steve Bannon in a recent installment of his War Room program on the right-wing media outlet Real America's Voice.
Yeah, the reason why... She's so stupid. The reason why we got you is because they run it. Because if they didn't run it, you wouldn't be on boards and on committees and out here acting a fucking fool. You wouldn't have the positions you had if they didn't control it, dog. You might have your office, but you wouldn't be doing a lot of the shit that you're doing.
Here's the point I want to make coming out of this is why they win.
Right.
This is why they win. Because to her, a shitty Republican is what I would probably consider like either a moderate or somehow at least consistent morally Republican. It's like people that are going, I'm not down with Trump. I'm Republican and I'm not voting. I'm not fucking with Trump. She's like, vote for them anyway. They'll agree on 90% of our shit. That's enough.
That's enough.
And that is the difference between their side and our side. Mm-hmm. It's not the politicians. Mm-hmm. It's us. Mm-hmm. It's the voters. It's the way that they go. The numbers are the thing that matter more than anything. And to get the things I want, I just need the numbers. We hem and haw over, well, this Democrat has this one issue, so don't support that Democrat. And if it's like, well, that seat will end up going to a Republican. Well, fuck him. He should have changed his stance. Okay, well, now we just lost that seat. That's one more seat going to Republicans.
Right, so stupid.
And we deal with that all the time.
Yeah, it gets on my nerves.
You know, I'm not opposed to primarying people. I'm not opposed to challenging people throughout the process. I'm not opposed to pushing people to move to the left or right. We see that happen all the time.
Right.
I am flat-faced stunned at the stupidity that we have when it comes down to these obviously binary choices, and we go, I'd rather look good and lose than win with a muddy motherfucker. You know, I remember people, and I never got on him for this, but I remember people caught up in the Bernie Hillary shit, and they were trying to like shit on Bernie, but be good to Hillary and vice versa. And each candidate had candidates down ballot that they were endorsing, and some of those candidates would be like a anti-abortion Democrat that was in a southern or a conservative district, and the only way they were going to win is to probably be like pro-gun, anti-abortion.
Mm-hmm.
But people would be like, fuck, not just fuck that candidate, fuck Hillary or fuck Bernie. This is why I hate them. And I was always like, but that's how you win.
Right.
I'd rather have Joe Manchin than a Republican.
Me too.
Why? Because as much as I hate Joe Manchin's going to vote 90% of the time with the side that I agree with. And that other 5 to 10% of the time, fuck him. But we need either a better option coming out of there, or we're going to get a Republican. We can't have both. We can't have it both ways on that.
Right.
And I think what Marjorie Taylor Greene and many times the GOP does this, including Trump himself, they get down to the brass tacks of like, hey man, suck it up. Like, okay, you don't like that this one Republican is pro-choice. We just fucking need the guy. Do y'all want to overturn the country or not?
Right.
And I think that's the big difference, and why their side is even with a minority of voters, why there's part of why their side is able to manipulate everything else is because that minority will still stick together for absolute ultimate power, even while disagreeing, even while being like, I'm not as far as you. At the end of the day, they fall in line in ways that we do not on our side. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, what she's saying is the quiet part out loud. And people need to pay attention to this shit.
Yes, they do. And we've talked about it before. There's no perfect candidate, and it kills me when people act like it's you either perfect or either I won't vote for you. It's stupid, it's idiotic, and it don't make fucking sense. All the shit that you claim that you want, it will the Republicans will never do that shit. They won't think about it and or consider it, and they will do the fucking opposite of everything that you want. You complaining about the war, they don't give a fuck about that war. You complain about Benjamin Netanyahu, they don't care nothing about that. Like all the shit that you claimed is your one issue shit, the other side does not care.
Yeah, it's not even that they don't care, it's just that they'll be worse. It's not caring might be a net positive in some of these situations, but if only they did not care, they're going to be worse. So it's just kind of interesting to see that. All right, let's see what else I was gonna say. Let's do another segment. Let's do some LGBTQ news.
Let me see what you want to be. You better move your body. You better move your feet. And I want to groove. Show me what's cool. Riding, caring, baby. LGBTQ news. We're trying to take it down, but we still around. Feel it. We're trying to still shine, but we on the ride. Feel it. We can't do what we got to do. Feel it. This LGBTQ news.
Over 500 pride flags vandalized outside Stonewall Monument. I believe Stonewall is the Stonewall Inn, which is a national monument in New York City, to commemorate like pride. It's yeah, I think it's the Stone. Are we calling it a riot or uprising? I just don't want to use the wrong term, but at any rate, a caretaker for the display, Steve Love Menendez, discovered the flags lying around when he did his morning rounds. He had only just installed the flags earlier this month in celebration of Pride. It's disappointing because this is the 8th year of this installation and there was no vandalism in the first 6 years. Last year was the first time. Of the 250 flags on display, 3/4 have been vandalized in the act. The monument has been quickly restored to its original state. Menendez says it's already back up for the public to see. This incident comes nearly a year after trans pride flags at the monument were knocked off their displays by vandals, resulting in several arrests. Yeah, they're sending the message out loud. I mean, this social issue as the Republicans are trying to turn it into, as a real life issue for actual people.
Mm-hmm.
But these wedge issues have real effects, and this hate is being supported by, half of our government.
Yes, it is.
The monument commemorates the 1969 uprising at the Stonewall Bar. These riots, spearheaded by Black marginalized queers and trans women like Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, helped lead to the modern push for LGBTQ rights. The uprising directly led to the first Pride Parade. And so, of course, it's very symbolic to basically go out there and spread hate by destroying these flags. Glad they got them back up. Glad, they were able to do that. But it's just, it's the fuck we're living with. Marlon Wayans defied haters by posting pride pics honoring his trans son.
I heard about that, and they was big mad.
Yeah, it was. I heard. Now I don't know if it was confirmed, but people on Twitter were posting screenshots saying he lost 10,000 followers over this. Not that I don't believe it, just wow. Happy Pride to all my LGBTQ plus peoples. He captioned the first in a series of posts. P.S. I'm straight. Well, according to my child, cisgender male. I just love and support my peoples. The pic depicted the LGBTQ plus ally 52, who counts a trans son among his 3 kids, draped in a rainbow flag and wearing a pair of convertible silver sneakers with blown up silver laces. Yeah, and he has 7 million followers on Instagram. As someone's part of the community, has worked with you closely, out rapper YouTuber Todrick Hall replied, I just want to say thank you for advocating for the community before and after you knew your child was part of it. We need more Black fathers like you. Proud of you for posting this with your chest. Love you. Happy Pride. Janelle Monet said, thank you. Happy Pride to us. On X, another LGBTQ fan added, damn, I appreciate seeing this level of compassionate, confident, and loving energy from a Black man with influence. Yeah, I think this is actually why a lot of people love Dwayne Wade too. Because it's just so rare that you see straight cishet men that just fully are like embracing love for LGBTQ people. And mostly importantly, not embracing the bigotry part of it, because I think that is a currency of masculinity that 99% of men are very comfortable with. They'll say they're not homophobic, but it's all the pause jokes, no Diddy. Right. It's why every time they watch a TV show, how come this Black actor's character has to be gay or something? It's why you shoving it down my throat? What about this agenda? All that shit that is normalized, and that is so normalized, we will count people that say shit like that as still good people, as long as they're not actively trying to harm somebody within the community of LGBTQ people. If they're not, hopefully, if they're not actively using slurs and shit, people will be like, cool. It's people that still think Dave Chappelle's like a good dude when it comes to that stuff. I don't know what line someone would have to cross for people to be like, I think this person is saying and doing harmful shit, but that bar is that low because of those people,
right?
And so to see somebody fully be out there, like, yeah, straight up support, straight up love.
Yeah, he's been open about the transition and struggling with it and finding the right words and talking to their child, because it could be difficult for some parents to process it. And parents are people, and they're flawed, and they have their own perspective and introspective about their child and the future they see for their child. And some parents get scared because they go, oh, like your life is going to be hard or whatever it may be. And I appreciate him for coming out and was like, hey, it don't matter. I love my child, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I think the beauty is in the flaws. I think the art is in the flaws. This is why I don't really like jive with the pushback that certain people have, especially from academic points of view and social media points of view, when they knock good-hearted people that just aren't perfect.
Right.
Like I still think people missed the ball, missed the point of when Kendrick Lamar talked about the LGBTQ people in his own family on his album, Mr. Morale, and people were like, he dead named his trans uncle or something. It's like, I can't imagine missing the point more than that. That's like watching Moonlight and being like, oh well, he didn't. Mahershala Ali's character said such and such one time. It's like, right, but the point is, and I think people that live in these marginalizations say it better than I can, and many of them have lived experiences of, I know people that weren't perfect. I know people that didn't always get it right. They weren't up on the academic lingo,
but their intentions,
their heart was so good.
Right.
They took care of me. They protected me. And that will always trump that they didn't go to fucking Harvard and know every single big word that these other motherfuckers know, but then they treat people like shit. But yeah, I also love that he was talking shit.
Yes.
Yeah, so he said, yeah, and just for the hate mongers, I'm posting another, and he posted another picture. So like that was the first picture with the flag over his shoulder. Then he posted another one with the right, with a different hat. He got a different hat with the flag on it,
having a whole ass photo shoot.
He says, as a father of a child in the LGBTQ community, I show my support. Zero fucks what people think. If I lost you, good. Your hateful ass never loved me in the first place. How can you love anyone when you're too busy judging? Some of y'all funny. I'm a troll. I'll post all day. Happy Pride to all my friends, fans, and loved ones. I'm happy you're happy, period. Good grief on Prime Video. Yeah, promote that too. So yeah, man, I actually think that's cool, man. He posted another one. You mad? It's him. He got a rainbow flag, mask, love wins button, 100% pride, 0% shame. He says, I can do this shit all day, but instead I think I'll do it all month. Happy Pride. Love and laughter will always drown hate. Good grief on Prime Video now. So it said, for people to be that homophobic reeks of repressed feelings and desires, bruh, don't live like that. Come on out. Be you. That's what pride is all about. Acceptance. They talk about men on films. Promoting the new stand-up special last fall. That includes the story of his son Kai's coming out. Wayans told the host of the Drive Time radio show, The Breakfast Club, that the revelation was initially very painful for him, but he's evolved and grown since. As a parent, I just want my kids to be free. I want them to be free in spirit, free in thought, free to be themselves. The more you live your truth, the happier your existence. Yeah, and I think what's interesting about that story and about specifically the way he told that story, what people think is ideal is that a parent would find out their child is LGBTQ and immediately full-throated like support, don't even need to think about it, doesn't change anything, I love you, the gayer the better, right? But if we're being honest, parents have expectations that they built up of kids, not fairly, but they have, they thought they pictured the wedding or the kids or the wife or the husband.
They have to mourn the loss of who you were.
Right. And I'm not saying that's fair to anybody or whatever. I'm just saying it is a fact that we know. It's, it's like if I told y'all tomorrow, like, guys, me and Karen actually are breaking up. A lot of y'all don't know us. Y'all will be fucking crushed because you had certain, I'm expecting this show to be a certain one. I'm expecting y'all to keep doing it. I thought how the House of the Dragon recap's gonna go, right?
Yes, all of the questions.
So what I find important isn't that I like that he didn't just lie or pander and be like, it was no big deal. I said, whatever, it's cool. People think that's like nonchalant stuff. I like that he said, like, I had to stop and think about it. And I said, ultimately, I want my child to be free. And that's what my goal as a parent is to do, is to be that lead blocker so they get through life, so they get to the end zone of life. And that's the part so many people and parents didn't make it through.
Right.
And maybe they can pick up the lesson. The lesson isn't for the LGBTQ people. That's not the lesson here is for all the bigoted people, all the straight people that had like hate in their hearts, all the people that don't understand why they feel some kind of way, but they just feel some kind of way and they don't support the lifestyle or, love the sinner, not the sin, that kind of shit. He's telling you, you ain't got to be like that. I pushed through that and I'm out here pride down. Let's go. And I wish more people would lean into that, especially because I think what happens too is a lot of people feel like the idea of feminism and LGBTQ issues and inclusion is this erasure of masculinity, right? This is an attack on masculinity and all this stuff. And what I'm saying is there's a place and a role for masculinity in there, just not toxic. Like the same, and it's not that these attributes are only ascribed to masculine people, but be the protector that you said you was gonna be.
Right.
Ain't that part of it too? Protecting the people in your family. You know, isn't that part of it? Isn't part of it supporting people in your family, making sure your kids' dreams come true, making sure they feel loved? That's part of being a man too. From last time I checked, you know. So I'm glad that if for every little Boosie, I wish we had a Marlon Wayans. Honestly, you know, just and he still makes art about it. He still makes jokes about it. This isn't even him being like this perfect academic role model. He just a dude with a good heart that's trying to do the right thing by his kids and by the community. And the community means all of us. Y'all mean all. Can't be some of the black people in the community except for the cones. Can't be some of the black people in the community. It's got to be the community. You can't just isolate and pick and choose who the fuck is part of the community. So I think I love that energy, and I wish more straight men express that, because that can be leadership, that can be culture changing. A new poll finds strong majority opposes gender affirming care bans for trans minors, meaning they support gender affirming care. Okay, they support hormones, stuff like that, right? And so yeah, that's cool that we got a poll that says that. You know, I appreciate it. I think it's really dope. 6 out of 10 adults support trans youth getting gender affirming care for minors. And at the same time, a slim majority, 51% of Americans think transitioning is morally wrong. 44% call it morally acceptable, as if it's up to you. Those who consider it morally acceptable include politically liberals, 81%, Democrats, 72%. Those who don't identify with a religion, 67%. Those who don't attend religious services, 59%, and young adults, 56%. College graduates, 53%. More women than men consider gender transition morally acceptable, 48% to 39%, which is still not a majority. Here's the thing about this poll. While this percentage of raw numbers is somewhat affirming in that, oh, look, if you go out and ask people, and for the most part, they either support or don't care to not support LGBTQ people, trans youth, all this stuff, right? I think that's really cool and everything. Here's my problem though. None of this matters if you don't vote.
You took the words out of my mouth. Nobody cares about this goddamn poll if you don't show some of these same people are some of the same people fussing and falling and flopping online, talking about they not gonna vote because ain't no perfect candidate. Joe Biden fix it. Joe Biden didn't do what I want to do. The Democrats didn't do enough. Why didn't the Democrats do this? Why didn't the Democrats do that? Bitch, if you don't get your ass out here and goddamn vote, that poll means nothing.
For years, people said we should decriminalize weed.
Yep.
But it didn't matter until we had the numbers and the candidates in office that said, yeah, let's decriminalize some weed. So the polls to me means nothing. No offense to folks. I'm glad we have some positive social attitudes, but if your social attitude doesn't extend to the fucking voting booth, your social attitude means shit to me.
It means nothing.
It's like being like, I'm against racism. Okay, cool. Well, we about to try to integrate the schools. We need to get some legislation on the books. Oh, I just meant I was against it, like in my house. I know you need me like to do something.
Right. I didn't know you need no actions behind it.
So yeah, it's a little annoying because like it's positive and negative at the same time. If it was like fucking with gay people or something, It's like I feel a little fuck with like, well, I'm like, okay, like calm down, everybody. Let's fucking do what we need to do.
But did you vote?
Right. All right. You know what? We're gonna make this a short one anyway. Let's move into some guess the race. So we can start wrapping this up.
Okay.
Normally like to end on a upbeat, but you know what? It's a call to action this time. Go fucking vote with your vote. Show your attitude in the voting booth.
Yep. Vote.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
That's right. It's guess the race time. The game we go all around the globe, find different articles, guess the race of the people involved. Karen in the chat room plays along. And they're all pretty much racist, so you know what to expect on that front. Let me see if I can do our first story. I think I have to play it in a different window so y'all can hear it because it's a news article. And I have to wait for the ad to go too, which is a perfect time to say, hey, you can still sign up to become a premium member at theblackouttips.com/premium. Get behind the paywall. We do movie reviews. We do sports show. We do food show and lip smacking good. All kinds of stuff. And speaking of food, let's check out
after a shooting over the weekend. A first look at an accused murderer after a shooting over the weekend in Phoenix. Detectives say the suspect shot his mother's boyfriend over fast food. That's right. His name is Calvion Hendricks. Police say he admitted to the shooting and killing Tracy Walker on Sunday night around 5:30 near 7th Street and Roosevelt. According to investigators, the victim came home during dinner time, and Hendricks and his sister were upset that he didn't bring home fast food. Police say the sister started beating the victim with an extension cord right before Hendricks reportedly shot him.
Ooh, this sounds like some abusive shit that y'all do to this
To the shooting
all the time.
Sound like some bad. They're not even his. It's the mother's boyfriend, so like it's not even his kids. And they sound grown enough to get their own food.
Yes.
Damn, that's a lot of pressure to get that McDonald's home or whatever. All right, Karen, guess the race of Calvion Hendricks.
Black.
All right, Karen's going with black for some reason. Let's see what you guys think in the chat.
I don't know about no white Calvions.
Beating somebody with an extension cord is psycho.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen to you.
That's like some slave master shit.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of that. That shit ain't fun.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Learn something new every day. Black, white. This some hella Negro shit, nigga shit, baby's kids, Calvion black, chickenless blacks. The correct answer is no McDonald's at home black. Ha! The correct answer is black. And that's him.
Oh no. Ooh, them elf ears.
His eyes. That looks like the cold-blooded face of a man that murders you because you forgot to get him some McNuggets.
He looked like he is still mad about not getting that fast food. Yeah. It is on his mind as they snap the shot.
He look like he's still hangry in this picture.
Yes, he is. And he look like I'll do it again.
I think we know what happened too.
I woke up and found you creeping. Oh, girl, I know your secret.
Got them McNuggets loaded. Why can't you share your love with me?
But you're still not getting any of my crispy, juicy nuggets.
Girl, you got 10 pieces, no beef and jam. That was my Bob. I used to love that in the video. Yes.
I guess he said 9 pieces of bullets.
McDonald's used to put out some bops.
You didn't want that sauce. You wanted that smoke. All right. Well, let's go to the next food involved crime. An ex-con landed behind bars again after allegedly striking his girlfriend in the face while arguing over a honey bun.
Damn. Today in food.
Right?
And the food is like, no, why am I in it?
Right. Andre Eason, 47, and the 39-year-old victim were in their car Friday when the 4 a.m. pastry kerfuffle began.
4 a.m.? What is we arguing about a pastry at 4 a.m. for?
At the time, the couple, who live in a hotel, so they was down bad, were outside a Walmart Supercenter. Oh man, all the telltales.
There was at the 3 hours Walmarts is still around.
Like, why the fuck is this cart so big? I'm so angry.
Why the bars hitting me in my titties?
During the honey bun dispute, Eason allegedly smacked the victim in the face, causing minor redness. An affidavit does not specify the nature of the honey bun clash, though history indicates that one of the parties likely consumed the honey bun before the other could partake.
Oh, we probably agreed to split it, and it didn't go down like that.
Sometimes a honey bun just want what a honey bun want, and it want to be in my belly. Eason, seen at the right, was subsequently arrested for domestic battery, a misdemeanor, and that's only a misdemeanor. I guess I don't. I've never put my hands on nobody I'm in love with, so I don't know.
I don't know either.
I wouldn't know what the charges is. I guess in my mind it's like all felonies, but I guess if you deal with this shit for a living, the court is like, we can't put them all for felonies.
Right. We had to have different levels. Did you kick? Did you bite?
He was released from custody later that day, ordered to not have contact with his girlfriend for 6 months. Not for 6 months, but his girlfriend of 6 months. The couple's relationship began roughly after Eason was released from state prison earlier this year.
Oh no!
So this is love at the lockup. Described in courts as self-employed, the convicted felon's solo practice previously included the sale of fentanyl and meth.
Drug dealer? Self-employed.
It's a living.
Yes, it is, apparently.
Which resulted in his jailing following an undercover narcotics investigation. His rap sheet also includes convictions for aggravated assault, theft, and disorderly intoxication. When booked into custody, jailers have noted that he has teardrops inked below his right eye, as well as a tattoo of a bear claw, which might refer to the sugary delicacy, the bear claw. So he's gonna have to get a honey bun tattoo next time.
Oh, the honey bun called a bear claw? That's neat.
You never seen a bear claw? It's a type of dessert. You never seen a bear claw? Interesting.
No, or if it was, I didn't know that's what it was called, a bear claw. I was like, this is a cinnamon bun.
Okay, yeah. I can show you what a bear claw look like, but yeah, it's all good. They sell bear claws as a type of food. Karen, guest stories.
Oh, black. Yeah, you can show me what it is when you do the pictures.
Okay, yeah, I'll show it to you. I guess shit wasn't sweet between them.
No, it was not.
There was a honey trap. I mean, he said he was gonna eat her buns, but she thought he was talking. Oh.
That sounds like a powdery situation.
Powder? What?
Sugar?
How is that a pun though?
The powdered sugar.
I know what powdered sugar is.
It's sweet. Mm-hmm. Never mind. Never mind. It made sense what I said when it crossed my mind. When it crossed my mind. But apparently I said out loud, I was like, wait a minute, Karen, that was not a well thought out joke. I deserve that smackdown or punch down or whatever it is just happened.
There was nothing to punch down. It was already down. If anything, I'm trying to help. That pun wasn't that bad, says R. Polo, who has zero credibility. Apparently, these people will lie to y'all. I do not need y'all in my marriage. Boy, we tell the truth over here. What is wrong with y'all? Powdery situation.
They tried to glaze over the situation.
That's good. That's
okay, all right. I see. I made up for it.
That one makes sense.
There you go. I just be trying over here. I be throwing shit at the wall, y'all.
Late night honey bun smack black. Little Debbie crimes black. White as the ice in white. Prison commissary flashback. That's not a race. Glaze white. Karen, what race did you say?
Black.
Karen said black. Well, Karen, you're right.
I about to say I got a boot.
Many of you said white. You missed it. Heard smashing the buns, but that's not what they mean by that.
He got himself in a sticky situation. There you go. I made up for the bad one.
All right, let's go to the.
I knew I could do it. I'm proud of myself.
That's why I don't ever give up.
Right?
The rest of you motherfuckers is weak, and you don't believe in your wife.
I got to challenge myself, y'all.
Run tell that woman that called me abusive on Twitter.
I am not the writer of the group, as you can tell.
Anyway, let's get to the bonus round. Karen, I believe you're 2 for 2.
Yes.
How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get the race.
Gold chain, fried chicken, and biscuit eating, monkey, big baboon, big dime, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
Woman 18 meets guy on a dating app and then calls 911 because she got cold feet.
Oh, that's how this works.
An Iowa woman exchanged checks with a man before arranging to meet him in person after they met on the dating app. But when Samaya Thomas, 18, got cold feet, she dialed 911 to avoid an IRL interaction in real life.
You know, you could have just left. You could have just packed your shit and went on where the fuck you came from.
She called the police to report that her abusive ex-boyfriend had shown up outside her residence and was sending her threats via Snapchat to hit, punch, kick, and stab her. She claimed that she has known this man for 2 years and that she was pregnant with his baby. Ma'am?
What?
That's not a misunderstanding. That's how you get someone like killed by the police.
What?
Officers responded to Thomas' residence, encountered a male leaving the scene and began an in-depth investigation about the reports being made. The man who was detained by police explained that he had been speaking with Thomas just over a week ago on a dating app. He provided text messages that showed he was being honest and he really did just meet this female. After multiple interviews with police, Thomas admitted she had been lying, claiming she got cold feet on meeting him and no longer wanted to. She fabricated her tales of abuse because she didn't think officers would help, so she made up this call and the events that she described.
There are people that really have to deal with these types of situations. They didn't know what they were walking into. You could have got this person killed.
Right.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, you crazy.
I am.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine. Not me.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
After being read her rights, she explained she pulled the 911 gambit because she didn't want the mail here and felt we wouldn't be able to do anything if she just called normally. She was arrested for placing a false 911 call and making a fake report of an indictable offense, both of which are misdemeanors. She was released from county jail earlier today following her initial court appearance. Guess the race.
Black, and I'm surprised they ain't charge up for the man hours. I mean, because like
they might,
like we have to, it takes people to go out there, and you wasting taxpayers' money.
Well, normally they wait to do that. Like same thing happened with the woman that found the nurse that found the baby or whatever that Tubi movie was called.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing happened with her, where it's like they found her, it took a while, then like a couple months later, it's like, so we are charging you and you do need to pay a fine. What the fuck was you doing?
Right.
Chat room says a thin line between love and hate. Black. Miss Barnes. That's a good call. Sounds very white girl. Black. Carly Russell. Is that you, girl? Black girl. Baby girl. Black, says R Polo. A lot of people went black on this one. And the correct answer, let's see, thinks the police are a personal bodyguard white, so it's very split. Karen, you said black.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Other people said white. If only.
Yeah, baby, you going to jail.
Yeah. Oh man, that is so wild.
You would have been better off just pretending like you went home, or be like, don't come. Like, you could have like left your residence and be like, I'm sorry, I missed you. I was out doing some other shit. Like, there could have been other ways to get around this other than accuse him of a crime that actually didn't happen.
Yeah, and it definitely makes me feel bad because, it's to see a woman do this to a man.
As a man, like, women's to worship me. You feel me? Like, man eat steak, pork, chitlin. Woman eat salad. That's just what it is. I want to watch football game, eat food. With women, they supposed to be loving us. You feel what I'm saying? Man,
are you married by chance?
Nah, man, I ain't never had a girlfriend.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is the reason why I haven't had one is because women's be tripping.
So ratchet this time.
That made me laugh every time. They are so stupid.
Yeah, she just has way more serious shit going on because that's just such a escalation. It wouldn't have solved the problem.
Nope.
The only thing that the cops, and she's lucky the cops actually didn't kill him, because once they looked into it, she would have been, whatever would have happened to him, she was gonna go to jail for that.
Yes.
Woo. Anyway, Daisy Dip stabbings. Boy 16 jailed and named for samurai sword attack. A Southampton teenager who left a man dying on the floor after plunging the samurai sword into his back in front of his mom and brother has been jailed.
Oh no!
Mustafa Mokhtar, 16, left Benjamin Glasspool with a gaping wound after attacking him on Laburnum Road in Flowers Estate in October last year. Southampton Crown Court heard how the teenager armed himself with the weapon and got into a car with his older brother Barry Cayley and his mother Nicola Cayley. The car was then driven at speed around the estate before they came across Benjamin Glasspool and his father Simon. Upon exiting the vehicle, both boys challenged the father and son, accusing them of chasing their family with crowbars, which they denied.
Damn.
But
yeah, they did that.
But Mokhtar, not content, set about attacking Benjamin, delivering at least 5 blows on the leg, hands, and upper body. Benjamin then tried to run away, at which point Nicola Cayley drove closer and told her son to get in. But he turned to her and said, "No, Mom," delivering a final blow to his back, causing the sword to become stuck in his body. Mokhtar, his mother, and brother then got into the car, drove away from the scene, causing Ben's brother to crash his own car to avoid them as he raced to the scene. Mr. Glasspool received treatment from paramedics and neighbors and was rushed to the hospital after suffering 3 severed ribs and a collapsed lung in the incident. Woo! In a statement read out in court Friday, he said, "I'm still in a lot of pain since the incident. My misplaced rib is still very painful. Even just lying down in my bed, I'm in pain. The doctor has told me I may suffer these pains for the rest of my life. This makes me feel angry. I'm still struggling to sleep. This is partly due to the pain and partly due to the material effect that the incident has had on me. I believe it is always going to be in my head." It's so wild because on TV shows like Game of Thrones, it's like you get stabbed by a sword, but if you don't die, it's like you come back 100% 3 episodes later. This man is like, I may never be the same.
That shit ain't real life.
The court heard how he had gone to the area after he heard his sister had been chased by a group of boys with knives. Nicola Cayley and her 2 sons were later arrested but answered no comment in the interview. Mokhtar was acquitted of attempted murder following a trial in April, having previously pleaded to Section 18 wounded with intent. Barry Cayley, now 18, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit a fray and threatening another with an offensive weapon. Nicola Cayley, 37, admitted charges of conspiracy to commit a fray, assisting an offender, and driving without due care and attention. Sentencing the trio, who all lived at Bluebell Road at the time of the attack, Judge Christopher Parker KC said that he had left Ben Glasspool in the road to die. He told Mokhtar the assault was persistent and you didn't stop even when your own mother finally came to her senses. You do pose a risk of serious harm to the public. You demonstrate entirely unregulated planned violence. It is only a matter of good faith that there is not a murder charge to follow. Prosecutor added that the weapon used in the attack had been bought by his mother for around $200 on the internet. Ooh,
what?
You can get a sword so easy these days.
Yes, you can.
He was sentenced to 4 years and 4 months detention with 3-year extended license period. I don't know what that means. His brother received 11 months of detention while his mother was jailed for 31 months. The defense said that he has learning difficulties and has been diagnosed with ADHD. Okay. What we not gonna do is put ADHD up in it. ADHD ain't do nothing to me.
There's a lot of people that have that and been diagnosed with it. What they ain't doing is stabbing folks.
Yeah, come on. So yeah, the guy got him off the streets for at least a little while. Could have been worse. Someone could have got killed, but you messed that person's life up.
Yes, you forever.
Right. Based off of some bullshit. So all right, y'all. That's it for today's show. We'll be back. We may or may not do a show tomorrow. I got a busy schedule. But Wednesday is our Game of Thrones House of the Dragon recap for sure.
Yeah, for those of you that want to get caught up and you're on Spotify, we have all the episodes that we've covered up to last season of Game of Thrones. If you want to go back and listen to some old episodes,
it's in a playlist called TBGWT House of the Dragon recaps. And you can always find it all there. And we have a Walking Dead playlist like that as well. So, check out those playlists if you want to do that. There's also a Game of Thrones playlist, a Lovecraft Country playlist. Just hashtag TBGWT or just TBGWT will you search and they'll come up. So don't ask me on social media. I just told you. And you could have hit rewind by 15 seconds and found the link yourself if you have Spotify. If you don't have Spotify, I don't know where else you're supposed to find it because they don't have those apparatuses other places. All right, y'all. That's it for today. Thanks for listening. Until next time. I love you.
Love you too.
Mwah.